Well, joining us now live is Dr. Bharat Pankhania, the Senior Clinical Lecturer at the University of Exeter and a Senior Consultant in Communicable Disease Control. Welcome to you. So more than a third of the country now under some form of local lockdown. Might it end there, do you think? Might that be enough?
Only time will tell. And I honestly don't think that we can carry on with lockdown, lift the lockdown, lockdown again. So we need to sort of start thinking forward beyond our 6 months and work out why we are getting the number of cases going up and then do something about it. And to do something about it is quite straightforward. We need good, clear advice on infection prevention and control.
Well, we've had that. People aren't really listening, are they, now?
It's very unfortunate, and I feel very sad because businesses shut down, they lose their jobs, and then there is the frustration of, when do we get out of this lockdown? When do we go back in? So we need to start again and reset the clock, which is, this is a human-to-human spread of infection. You need to stick to your group of humans that you interact with. Don't extend your group of people that you interact with, and keep a low profile circulating in places where other people are. And those measures, as well as a temporary lockdown, will allow us to regain control. But it is only regaining control. We've got to continue to exercise infection control beyond the restrictions in movements.
So we had Eat Out to help out, we had Go Back to the Office, we had Go Back to University, we had Go Back to School. No surprise, therefore, that cases go up. The key now, I suppose, is to work out which measures work. Is that possible to do, and how difficult is it to specify that and stick to those parts of the rules?
The easy bits are the ones where adults can be told, look, you keep your distance from other people and keep your circulation low. The harder ones are with the young people, our children at school and our students at universities. That's a lot harder. And I can see their resistance to wanting to follow restrictions in movements and restrictions in interactions. So I've started to rethink what we can do there. And I feel perhaps we should say, let us do distant learning as well, because we've got to teach our children. We've got to allow the universities to continue. What is the best, safest way? We could try also teaching from via the use of the medium of internet.
So you mean from their university accommodation, or they should have stayed in their family home in the first place?
I have now rethought, and I feel go back home safely, and we will teach you wherever you are safely in your parents' homes. Because I personally think being in university accommodation, which is usually cramped and crowded, is also an ingredient for people to get together, make mistakes, and spread infection. So I almost feel, should we do a U-turn? And I'm thinking maybe so, and teach from home.
We all want to know, don't we, why certain parts of the country are seeing spikes in a worse way than others. In Aberdeen, for example, they did hone it down to a number of pubs. I know that the hospitality industry says that most transmission is done in the home. The north is not a homogenous area, so why might large parts of the north of England see cases that are so much higher than parts of the south, for example?
So what we've noticed in the northeast, northwest is a lot of family and relation spread of infections. And what has basically probably happened is that you seed this virus in a group of people, and then this group of people are interacting with other relations and other family members, all living within a square mile of each other. And therefore, there is a lot of seeding. And once you've got the seeding of the viruses, more and more cases are generated. Whereas we saw something quite different in London. In London, it arrived and it spread amongst a diverse range of people. And then at the moment, we don't have the same situation as we have in northeast, northwest of England.
It's easy to compare with other countries and think, actually, we're not doing too badly. France has seen a rise in cases. Spain has seen a rise in cases. Italy, not so much until today, to be fair. There, of course, they had a really long lockdown. They had terrible figures and were quite spooked by it. Yes. Strict mask wearing, proper contact tracing. You really did have to leave your name and number if you entered a bar or a restaurant. Perspex between the tables. good enforcement as well, good compliance. Have we really just not been doing well enough since lockdown was lifted?
We never did well enough, and I feel so disappointed about it because we are a first world nation. We are full of very clever people, and we knew what to do. We've just been very reluctant to do it. So, as you say, we were reluctant with introducing wear your masks in public places. We were reluctant to restrict movements. We came out of lockdown early. We went into lockdown late. I feel very disappointed. And furthermore, our contact tracing service has never worked properly. And with the rising number of cases, it will not work properly. I also feel that now is another moment, a tipping point, whereby the government says to local authorities and local regions, you take charge of your contact tracing and your testing systems, because we may just get better results that way.
Well, we'll see if people are listening. We'll see if the government's listening to your idea now about university students as well as we head even further into the autumn and the winter. But Dr. Bharat Pankhania, good to have you on. Thank you very much indeed. Lecturer there at the University of Exeter. Thank you.
Thank you.